What's going on, YouTube? This is your boy Jamar4 here back again. Now, if you're seeing this video and you had not seen the initial video that I did earlier in the week when we started these back up again, make sure you go check that one out. Some crazy shit went on over there. But we're going to continue on this week with some more just general horror story reactions. So, without further ado, let's do it.
I used to think the door kick challenge was just dumb fun. Kick a random door, laugh, and run while people get mad. It was all for TikTok views. That summer, my friends and I treated it like a game, never stopping to think what kind of danger we were inviting. Looking back, I realized how stupid it was. You don't know who's on the other side of that door. Some people aren't just annoyed, they're violent. It was supposed to be just another dumb summer afternoon. Me, Jackson, and Hugh were bored out of our minds, hanging around our small town with nothing to do. That's when Hugh brought up the door kick challenge. It's freaking awesome, man. You just kick a stranger's door and run away while filming the reaction. It's hilarious.
Um, Baby, let me tell y'all something. Y'all kicked the wrong motherfucker's door. And y'all gonna wish y'all had. Why can't y'all just ring the doorbell like normal kids? Like we used to do ding dong ditch back in the day. Why y'all can't do that? Why y'all gotta kick the door? Now you done left a mark on the shit. Now you probably done caused some damage just for what? Like, all right, now the right person chase up after y'all. Y'all film that reaction, maybe the last thing that y'all film ever.
It sounded stupid, but we were teenage rebel-minded boys, so we went on with this idea. We started in the nicer neighborhoods, where most people just yelled or swore at us through their doors. One old lady shook her cane at us. Another guy came out shirtless and screaming. We were laughing so hard we could barely breathe. We decided to head toward the outskirts of town. There's this lonely stretch of road with maybe 3 houses, all pretty far apart. One of them, this small rusted metal roof place, looked ancient and isolated. I don't think anyone even lives there, I said, frowning my eyebrows. We should have stopped right there and gone home, but Jackson pointed at the door. Come on, let's get to it.
Now, what would make you want to kick this door? Why would you even want to get close to this door to even play that kind of prank? Like, this is just the stupidity. Like, I mean, I could see going to nice neighborhoods and maybe at least somebody's gonna be there. They probably ain't gonna really give you too much hell. But somebody that live in a place like this clearly don't give a fuck. So y'all want to play them games? Let's see.
The door was a heavy metal slab. Paint was peeling and the hinges were rusted. We walked closer and waited for a few seconds. Maybe we were all trying to make up our minds whether to kick it or not. But suddenly, Jackson kicked it hard. The rusty door shuddered, surviving the kick, but its sound echoed like a gunshot. For all the other houses before, the owner took time to respond. But in this case, the door flung open immediately. A man stepped out as if he had been standing behind the door even before we arrived. He was a man.
Ooh. Now, see, I told y'all. If y'all just ring the doorbell, then maybe y'all wouldn't get so many people that are pissed off. Now you done pissed off this wrong motherfucker that look like damn Bubba or Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now if y'all get turned into chicken cutlets, I don't know what to say.
Massive guy with long hair that touched his shoulders. He seemed to be in his late 40s, dressed in a butcher's apron splattered with dark red stains. I swear, I caught the metallic smell of blood around him.
And why aren't they running? Hello? Does he need to get closer to y'all for y'all to be afraid? Like, y'all ran with all the other people that weren't scary looking, but y'all just bagging away ever so slowly with this big motherfucker? Okay.
Him the moment he stepped out. He didn't say a word, just stared at us, then took a step forward. I thought it was some kind of joke at first. I kept filming, laughing nervously for the live stream. Yo, guys, check this out. He's really mad.
A teenager with 200,000 followers. Live. See, this is that new age Gen Z, Gen whatever thing that we're in right now shit, because when we was outside playing with our friends, we didn't have no phones like that. If anything, we had like a flip phone from Sprint. Okay, these people going live, filming, recording TikTok and Instagram. I couldn't imagine being a young kid or teenager with social media like that. Like, that's just not for children to me.
All of a sudden, he started sprinting at us, his hands clenched into fists. The look in his eyes was devoid of any playfulness. We began to run. I was in front,
Oh, now y'all want to run away.
Hugh right beside me, and Jackson trailing just a few feet behind. I could hear the man's footsteps pounding the gravel, getting closer. I thought maybe he would stop and scream at us like everyone else, but he just kept getting closer. We increased our speed and turned around for
Well, she gone. We'll wish you well and say something real nice as your eulogy, baby. But once you trip and fall, that's it.
Jackson when he tripped. He was on the ground, scrambling to get up, and the man, he was already there. He grabbed Jackson by the back of his shirt and yanked him up like he was some toddler. Jackson screamed in panic. Hey, what are you doing? Guys, help me! Hugh and I froze. I was still live streaming without even...
So you mean to tell, instead of helping me, you're going to film me on live and just stand there? What if he just decided to beat my ass right then and there on camera?
Realizing it, the man pulled a long, curved knife from under his apron. It glinted under the sunlight. You came looking for trouble, and trouble answered the door.
He's not wrong. He is not wrong.
Smile for the camera. Your friends are still watching. The man grinned at us and started stabbing Jackson.
You know, I kind of thought that like something would stop him. I kind of thought they would stop him, or maybe, I mean, I guess they're teenagers, maybe they're horrified, but it's like you can't be so horrified but still have enough, you know, motor skill ability to still pull up your camera and film you on Instagram Live. Like, y'all ain't shit. Y'all are terrible, terrible friends. And y'all did this to yourselves. Well, actually, this whole thing was his idea. Damn.
We couldn't do anything than just watch and cry in terror.
And then at this point, why haven't y'all ran away? Lord have mercy.
The scream that came out of Jackson didn't sound human. The man stabbed him again and again, fast and hard, until his body went limp. Blood sprayed across the gravel. I dropped my phone for a second, gagging. My legs felt like concrete. Hugh grabbed my arm, yanking me forward and shouting, "Run, Noah! He's gonna kill us!" We bolted down the road, screaming for help. My lungs felt like they were going to burst, but I didn't stop. I could still hear wet, heavy footsteps behind us. We reached the end of town and ran straight into a gas station, slamming the door behind us. The clerk jumped up when he saw us, and Hugh just shouted, "Call the cops! There's a guy! He killed our friend! Call 911!" He couldn't even finish the sentence without choking up. When the cops arrived, we told them everything. What happened, where the house was, and seeing our friend Jackson in his last few minutes. The officers went out there with a whole team. They caught him covered in blood, sitting in his dusty living room, while Jackson's mutilated body was placed on the floor. It was later revealed that his name was Howard. He used to run a butcher shop in town before it shut down. After his wife left him, he disappeared from public view. He was in a very depressed state of mind. They were dead animal remains found in his kitchen, which denoted he had been cutting up strays to channel out his disturbed mind. When we kicked on his door, he was getting ready to go out and catch something more to kill. If, and only if, we didn't kick on that door, Jackson would have been alive. Hugh won't talk about it. My live stream ended the second I dropped the phone, but people who saw it before said they can't get Jackson's screams out of their heads. Me? I can still see the exact moment when Jackson realized he wasn't getting away. And that man's eyes, like he wasn't really killing a person, just preparing meat. I never went back to that part of town. Every time I see a heavy metal door, I hear it creak open again. And I remember what happens when you think you're just filming a harmless prank, only to find out the monster on the other side has been waiting for you.
That is just a lesson of fuck around and find out. Okay, heavy on that. That's because all that was. If you had never bothered that man, he would have never bothered you.
I don't usually talk about this. Most people in my life know me as someone who helps kids, someone who goes into schools and correctional homes to warn them about making reckless choices. But what I never say, the part I keep locked away, is that I do it because of something I did. Something that's haunted me every single night since I was 8 years old. It was a warm summer afternoon. My mom was out in the garden trimming roses. I was inside with my little sister, Mia. She was 6. Mia and I were obsessed with WWE back then. Completely obsessed. We'd watch it on TV, admiring Undertaker, Triple H, and all those larger-than-life guys. That afternoon, I told Mia,
"Let's do the Undertaker's choke slam."
She giggled like she always did, eager to play along. She trusted me too much. I grabbed her by the neck, pretending like I was in the ring. I lifted her, not even thinking about how small she was, how fragile. And then, I slammed her down. The sound...
Wow. So you just didn't think about that at all. You just broke her damn neck, just that quick. Lord have mercy.
that followed was something I'll never forget. Her head hit the floor with this crack. Not like a toy breaking, not like something you could fix with glue. This was deeper, final. For a second, I thought she was just stunned, but then I saw it. The blood. A dark patch spreading quickly into the carpet beneath her head.
Mia?
I shook her. Her eyes fluttered, but she didn't answer.
Mia, wake up!
Panic clawed its way into my chest. My mom was right outside. If she saw this, if she knew what I'd done. I wasn't thinking like a sister. I was thinking like a scared kid who didn't want to get in trouble. That's the part that eats me alive. I dragged Mia across the floor, leaving streaks of red on the carpet, and stuffed her inside our wardrobe. She was so small, she fit right in. I shut the doors, pressed my back against them, like that would make it all disappear. But it didn't. At first, I just sat there, hands over my mouth, rocking back and forth. Then, I heard a thud, a kick against the inside of the wardrobe, and then another. Mia's muffled cries told me she was awake. I should have opened the door.
Then what the hell? Why didn't you? I mean, if she's okay, at least awake now, what's the problem? Better her be awake than a dead body in the closet, right?
I should have run for help, but I didn't. Instead, I turned on my stereo, blasting music, trying to drown out Mia's cry for help. Every kick, every cry was like a nail being hammered into my skull. I remember pressing my hands to my ears, whispering over and over.
It's okay. She'll be fine. She'll be fine.
But the noise went on. The wardrobe shook. It all continued for 5 to 10 minutes. Then, dead silence. I felt bile rising in my throat. I knew what just happened, yet I was too scared to admit it. I sat there, crouched on the floor, tears streaming down my cheek.
Okay, so she gonna have to explain to me why. Was she mad that the sister was gonna tell on her? But it's like, but now you have a dead body as opposed to a live body. If she fell and hurt herself, now you gonna still get your ass whooped. But at least she's alive. Like you were afraid to kill her, and then she was still alive, and then you killed her anyway.
Hoping everything will go back to normal. But who can rewind time? When my mom finally came inside, she found me sitting on my bed, staring at the wall. She noticed the blood on the floor and called for Mia in full panic mode. She might have asked me, but I couldn't make out her words in my head. It was as if I were in a trance. I came back to my senses only when Mom opened the wardrobe.
Mia! Oh my god, my baby!
Her scream still rings in my ears. Mia was limp. Her lips were blue. The blood had dried in her hair. And I just sat there, frozen, while my mother's world collapsed in front of her. The next days were a blur. Police, questions, whispers from neighbors. I ended up in juvenile detention. They said it was an accident, but that didn't make me innocent. Years later, I built my life around that one afternoon. I studied child psychology. I became a counselor. I stand in classrooms now, looking into the eyes of kids who remind me of Mia, and I tell them not to copy stunts they see online. I tell them one wrong move can ruin lives. But here's the thing. I don't tell them one wrong move can ruin lives.
Sorry, I thought I saw something written on that blackboard. I said, wait a minute, what does that say?
But here's the thing. I don't just remember that day. I relive it. Because every night, when I'm lying in bed, I hear it again. At first, it's faint, a shuffle, a soft knock. Then it grows louder. The rattling of wardrobe doors, shaking in the dark. Sometimes, I hear Mia's voice.
Nellie, let me out. I'm scared in the dark.
I know it's not real. I know it's guilt and trauma playing tricks on me. But it doesn't matter. Because when you've been the reason your baby sister stopped breathing, your brain doesn't care about logic. The rattling never stops. I've moved apartments, switched jobs, and even thrown out every wardrobe I've ever owned. But no matter where I go, no matter how safe or bright the room is, the sound always finds me. The worst part? Sometimes I see her. I'll wake up in the middle of the night, sweating, heart racing, and there she'll be. Mia, standing in the corner of my room, her little pajamas soaked in blood. Her head was tilted in that same unnatural way I last saw it, and her eyes, accusing. She doesn't speak when she shows up. She just watches me. Watches until I'm gasping for air, clutching the sheets, begging her to forgive me. Then, just as suddenly, she's gone. People tell me I've done good with my life, that I've redeemed myself by helping kids, but they don't know the truth. I didn't do it out of kindness. I did it because I'm trying to make up for something I can never undo. I know some people will say this is just guilt, that I'm punishing myself, but I don't think so. Because sometimes, late at night, when the wardrobe rattling gets too loud, it doesn't just stop like it used to. Sometimes I swear I hear the door creak open, and then the room goes cold. And I know Mia's not just a memory. She's still here, waiting for me to open the door.
Girl.
I still remember the exact sound the front door made when Annabelle closed it behind her that night.
You know what? I'm not going to point it out, but y'all see it, right? Everybody can see it, what this looks like. All right, we don't got to say it.
Soft, but with a little snap of finality. She called out,
Don't wait up, Paul.
in her usual sing-song tone. I shouted back.
Text me if he's cute.
That was it. That was the last time I ever heard her voice. She'd been so secretive about this guy. She only mentioned that his name was Chris, that he was a photographer who lived nearby, and that they'd been talking on Snapchat for weeks. She never showed me his full face, only Snapchats with filters or cropped images. But she was glowing, suggesting she has totally fallen head over heels.
How you fall head over heels over somebody that you've never even met or seen their face? How'd that work?
I figured it was a harmless flirting phase and she would eventually get bored of it, but I wish it went out that way. That night, I was lying on my bed watching some videos on YouTube. The rain was tapping on the windows and Annabelle was out on her first date with her mystery Snapchat man. Around 11:17 p.m., I got a text from her.
He's acting weird.
I replied instantly.
What do you mean?
She didn't answer. A minute later, another message came.
If I don't text back in 10, call me.
That one set something off in my gut. I stared at my phone, suddenly cold. My fingers hovered over the keypad.
See, let me tell you something. When y'all are dating these people, and especially if you as a friend kind of recognize that the person that they may be going out to see is a little shady, first advise them not to do it. But if they decide to still do it, still, share your location with somebody. Okay? Share your location with them. Tell them the place that you're going to. Show them, at least get pictures of them so that if you need to show them to the police, they can know at least who to look for. Just to take safety precautions because people are crazy out here, y'all. And at least if she can look at the location, if he steals her phone, they might be able to track him. They know what he looks like. They at least know where the last place that she was supposed to be seen with him at, and they can look at maybe some security cam footage or something like that. Yeah, so at least try to tell somebody where you're going, who you're seeing if you're meeting people like this. So at least she did something.
When the third message came in.
I feel like he's hiding something.
I called her immediately. It rang twice, then went to voicemail. I tried again and again, but she didn't pick up. That's when panic crept in. I told myself maybe her phone died. Maybe they were just somewhere with no signal. But something didn't feel right. Annabelle never said things like that unless she meant them. I walked to her room, hoping maybe she'd left a note on where she was going with this guy or...
See, she didn't do it. All you know is that he was going to go meet her somewhere. You don't know if he's going to be at a restaurant, park, movie theater. Now that she's in alleged danger, you don't know where to look.
Written in her iPad about any appointment. Her door was slightly open, the string light still on. I noticed her iPad sitting on the desk, the screen still glowing with activity. Snapchat was open, indicating that she had forgotten to log out. I hesitated for a second, then picked it up. My hands were trembling. I tapped into the chat with Chris. What I saw chilled me to my bones. Their conversation went way back, weeks of flirty messages, silly selfies, and inside jokes. At first, it seemed sweet, harmless. He complimented her art, sent black and white photos of his studio. But the deeper I scrolled, the more unsettling it got. He always avoided showing his full face. All his snaps had filters or shadows or were taken from hazy angles, not revealing his full face. I scrolled to the messages from tonight. Wear something red for me, and don't bring anyone. It's just us.
Sure, whatever you say.
I felt nauseous. I noticed something else, his SnapMap location. He used filters to fake being nearby, but in older saved snaps I saw weird inconsistencies. One said Denver, the next said Boulder, then Aspen, within minutes of each other. No one moves that fast. He was lying about everything. I stumbled on a saved video call from 3 nights ago. I hit play. Annabelle was laughing, tossing her hair and asking him about his latest shoot. He didn't speak much. He just nodded, smiled, and remained mostly in the shadows. For a moment...
How do you talk to somebody like that? Here you are, full light, hair and makeup looks like, and yet I'm sitting here trying to talk to you, and I'm looking at a cascade shadow of you across your face. And even the part that you can see that he doesn't look like he has a lot of dental hygiene. He looks a little horrifically, looking a little scary. And you are attracted to that? That turned you on? Help me understand that part.
The screen glitched, and I saw a glimpse of his real face. He wasn't 20-something. He looked older, 30, maybe more, and his smile didn't reach his eyes.
Yeah, no ma'am.
Then I saw a message he sent earlier that night, right after Annabelle left for the date. She never opened it. If you scream, no one will hear you. I called 911. Annabelle's body was discovered the next morning in the basement of an empty house an hour outside the city.
Oh, Father God.
She was strangled to death. Her phone was wiped clean. No fingerprints, no messages. It was like she'd never spoken to anyone. But her iPad, the one I'd found, was the key. Investigators recovered fragments from the cloud, unsent messages, broken video calls, one final snap taken automatically during a failed call. A week later, they caught the man. His real name was Mason Duval, 32 years old,
32? Please.
He'd been using location filters and anonymous usernames to talk to girls. Annabelle wasn't the first, but she was the one who didn't make it home. It's been almost a month. Her room still looks the same. Her art is still on the walls. Her bed's still made. But sometimes I swear I hear the ping of a Snap notification in the middle of the night, coming from her iPad. One time I opened it. It said, "Still with Chris, don't worry." But it wasn't from her account. It was from a new one. No Bitmoji, no name. I deleted the app that night. But I still see her on the quick ad list sometimes. Even though her account was deactivated, she's frozen there, smiling in a filter, like she's still online, still stuck in that last snap. And every now and then, late at night, I wonder if someone else is chatting with some random creep, not having the slightest idea that if they meet in person, the stranger might not let them live to tell the tale.
I'm telling y'all gotta have a buddy system when meeting with these strange mofos. Because even though he wiped the thing clean, if she had told him like where they were going, like the exact spot of where they're supposed to be at, an address or something, they would have known where to look. And they wouldn't have needed the iPad. Thank God they had it. But girl, if you ain't had that, that would have been it. More than likely. Lord have mercy. Well, that was it, y'all. I'm just going to do a couple of stories at once for these videos. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share it for the people that haven't seen it. And hope you guys enjoyed, the return. I'll try to, see if I can get back on the swing with these things. And yes, I'll catch you guys next time. Bye, guys.